Oh, this is going to be fun. Okay, we are now live. It's MicheleMarieDalene. Hail Mary to you guys. It's Friday morning. It is the 2nd of December. A lot of people received their Social Security checks today, and so a lot of people are not here at the soup because they got the food stamps and their cash benefits. And so today, of course, I just want to make sure everything is going okay as best I can. See if the live stream is live. I see it's live on my camera, but I've been live before. I must let you know that I'm extremely proud that all of you have attended and have been watching these videos. And I also wanted to give you some amendments to something that I said a couple days ago. I said that I would be next week moving the video production to home at starting at 5 p.m. I decided, after talking to the staff here at the soup kitchen, they said to me, we like when you're here because, it gives some, people awareness of the soup kitchen. And I was like, okay. I said I was just concerned about the extension cord that runs across the floor. Well, not really across the floor. It's inconspicuously out of the way, but it is here. Okay, which I think is a liability. And they said, well, that's really not a problem because you keep an effort to keep the cord from people from tripping on it. We have so much to cover. Besides that, but I want to just reiterate really quickly is that we are not going to be changing the times of these morning coffees with Lumi and Michele. Thank God. Why? Because I got used to being here, at least, even if I am mostly the silent side. Okay. So, since the staff doesn't have a personal issue with me being here and doing a live stream, I suppose that solves one problem. That is I don't have to worry about upsetting the staff, which was my main fear. And type of that, of course, is the cord, which, as I said, is pretty much inconspicuous. By the way, I'm sorry about the interference in the video you heard sometimes yesterday. Or the pup. That was because this thing was too close to the iRig Pre. Now the cable may be shielded, but the iRig Pre box is not. So I shall keep my phone and my Wi-Fi far away as I can. I don't want to make too much interference with the microphone, because after all, that's how you hear me. Unless you can read lips. If you can read lips, you probably have a hard time seeing me anyway, because unfortunately, the existing lighting is really backlit. I'm not front lit. I wish I could change that, but, I could if I wanted to change this stuff a bit. The staff has informed me that they're going to try to fix the other outlet so that technically I would be at the table behind me, and that would mean that, number one, I would still have to have this cord, but I wouldn't have to have it like I do right now. And I'd have to move back to one table back for it to reach my video gear. So, last night, Donald Trump, at the Carrier air conditioning plant, he is proud to say is that he was able to work out with the parent company, which is United Technologies, to encourage Carrier to lead the plant in Indianapolis, Indiana. And they also are going to do at least $16 million of updates to the plant. 1,100 people will be allowed to keep their jobs. And even though at the time, Governor Mike Pence said we have tried on the state level to encourage them to stay, we had not been able to succeed, because one of the things Carrier pointed out was the issue was with the federal government side of things and not the state side of things. Donald Trump did exactly what Barack Obama has never done. Well, actually, Barack Obama's always said, they don't got a pen and a phone. Well, Donald Trump's got a phone. And he said that he was going to call Carrier Air Conditioning. And at the request of one of the Carrier employees that said that they had faith in Donald Trump to successfully negotiate a deal. And they did. And the deal worked out great. After working with the head managers of the United Technologies, they were able to, as I said, 1,100 jobs have been saved. Likewise with Ford in Kentucky, 1,000 jobs have been saved. So that's over. They would have been over 3,000 jobs if those two deals were not negotiated. Today, I can happily say that 2,100 people from both Ford and Carrier will have a holly jolly Christmas this year. So it's not going to end up being like the song if we make it through December. Because this time, 2,100 people will have a paycheck to pay for Christmas presents. Good luck. Thank you very much for saving those 2,100 people's bacon. So if you need a new air conditioner, why don't you check out the prices on Carrier air conditioning systems. They also make window units too. So if you're interested in a window air conditioner, go look into the Carrier models of air conditioners. Of course, they make heat pumps and central air conditioning and hot air furnaces as well. So you can save some money by buying an American-made air conditioner, in the sense that, one, you'll be saving somebody's job and encouraging people to make more air conditioners. A lot of people tend to think with the dollars and cents, which is understandable. I know that. I'm very budget conscious. Alex Jones brought up another story, and that was the issue what they call food deserts. I mentioned this briefly in my own story, but I didn't really go into much detail. Here's what his staff has said. There is the city of, I want to make sure I get the right city, guys, so I get it wrong, please forgive me. I know it's in Texas. I think it's Dallas. South Dallas has not had a grocery store in that town for quite a few years. And despite the best efforts to get the local grocery store in North Dallas to expand it to South Dallas, they're offering now a $3 million bounty if a store will take up the reins and open up a grocery store in downtown North or South Dallas. The same is true with a lot of small towns even here in New England. Some towns just don't have a regular grocery store, and they don't have a regular grocery store because it's a very low profit business. It's not like, convenience stores are actually a little bit higher in value than local stores. Full service grocery stores. That's one of the reasons why I personally suggest, if you can, that you should continue to support your local grocery store in town if you have one. I do. I went to Super Saver yesterday. I wanted to price up the cheese block. I was talking about the 2-pound cabbage, extra sharp cheddar. Let me calculate. It's about a little more than the equivalent cheese block would be from Cumberland Farms. But Cumberland Farms does not make a 2-pound block of extra sharp cheddar cheese. And Cabot is a local dairy operating in Vermont. It is a major maker of New England cheeses. the name brand cheeses. And it's really good stuff. I never had a problem with cabbage cheese. And of course, like I said, the way of things down there, it's super saver in Winston. The Winston is super saver that they don't have in Cumberland Farms. Like cheese stuffed crust pizza from DiGiorno. They don't have that down there at the Cumberland Farms. They only have Supreme and pepperoni. I don't like Supreme that much. I'll eat it, but it's not really my most exciting pizzas. So the price is about almost the same. It's like $1 more for that pizza. But you gotta understand one thing before you start saying it's just going by dollars and cents. Is the fact is that there's also fresh produce and a lot of fresh produce available. And since we're talking about food stamps, they also, of course, have, cereals and a variety of other things you're going to be using in your cooking besides just making, frozen pizzas. Now, I have to admit that that's a big deal for some people because frozen pizzas is convenient. I've certainly eaten my share of them. They're not necessarily always my favorite thing to eat, but they are, of course, food, and they are edible, and that's a big deal. So fresh food, fresh pizzas. DiGiorno is not necessarily the best. It's not necessarily the worst. I've had pizzas that were a lot less appealing than DiGiorno's. Not a good pizza is freschetta. I like freschetta pizza. And sometimes they have it at Cumberland Farms, and sometimes they don't. One of the problems that Cumberland Farms has pointed out to me is the problem is they'd like to expand their items, but the storefront is really small, and they don't have a lot of shelf space. That's common with a lot of grocery stores. As more and more food items are produced and more creative items are created, stores sometimes have to choose based on what's going to sell versus what's going to just sit on the shelf and decay and rot away. For example, if a store knows that it's going to sell a lot of pepperoni pizza, it's going to stock a lot of pepperoni pizza. Whereas the 4 and 5 cheese pizzas just may not sell that well to some people. I didn't have the pizza last night. I was going to have it last night, but I decided not to. But tonight, of course, is another day of the week. And, of course, I still have a soup kitchen pizza sitting in my refrigerator. I could eat that first. And that's what I'm going to probably do. Now, let's get to, before we get too ahead of ourselves, let me just reiterate a few more things. The weather forecast. Now, I double-checked the weather for the next few days, and it's going to be getting colder. Right now, it says it is 7 degrees Celsius outside right now. And it's partly cloudy. It's mostly sunny, actually. It says it feels like 5 degrees. Winds are southwest at 9 kilometers an hour. The humidity is at 60%. UV index is 1, which is low. The dew point is 0 degrees Celsius. Sunrise this morning was at 7:02 a.m. Sunset tonight will be at 4:21 p.m. As I pull up the next, I'm going to go for the next 3 days. I'm going to go all the way to Sunday today. Friday today is supposed to be a high of 7, a low of 0. It's going to be mostly sunny. Saturday, December 3rd, will be partly sunny, a high of 4, low of -3. 0% chance of precipitation. And on Sunday, on December 4th, it'll be a high of 3, a low of -2, with 10% chance of precipitation. So, yes, folks, the cold is coming in. But at this immediate point, it doesn't look like it's going to be, for New England anyway, earth-shattering, although we'll be getting closer to seasonally cold for this time of year, because this is the beginning of December. And like I said, I don't want to go too many few days ahead because the Weather Channel's extended forecast tend to border on the not quite so accurate, and I don't want to put my foot in my mouth unintentionally. Okay, sometimes I do by mistake. But that's one area I will not do it. Now, I also want to thank all you guys who have decided the 2 additional subscribers. I thank you very much. We are up to 154 subscribers now. I would still really could use your subscribership. I hope that you'll share these videos with your friends and family. And like I said yesterday, if you want me to like your site, then you need to return the favor and like my site, okay? It's not only because, look guys, especially with people from India, I don't know anything about India enough to say I like or dislike a site, okay? I'm also so busy covering the local news streams and the national news streams and international news streams that by the time I try to reach up to look at your site, I'm late at night, I'm tired, my eyes are hurting, and I just want to go to bed. And I don't really want to sit there and keep exploring everything. I do these videos, I'm up. This morning I got up at 8 o'clock in the morning because it's payday. I got everything started to get the bills paid. The rent check is prepared and ready to be handed to the landlord, which I'm more than likely he will be, because I called him and let him know that I'd be home after lunch. And he's going to be very excited to have his rent. He always gets his rent on the 2nd or 3rd of the month. So he's never, really has to worry with me, because he knows I make an honest effort to pay the rent on time. And so things like that are going to get done. I'm going to have to do a lot of online bill payments on the computer and print a lot of receipts and things like that. So yeah, a lot of stuff to be done. So the first question that I was thinking was what next? What do we do now? What's the next thing on our list of projects? Well, the next things that we have is a couple events coming up. On December 6th, I'm going to get my hair retouched. And on December 17th, we're supposed to have the Electoral College is supposed to vote and inaugurate Donald Trump. It is confirmed that there is a group of electors, because of harassment and fear, that may not vote for Donald Trump. They may not necessarily vote for Clinton either. But fortunately enough, there is a backup process, which is if the main candidate for some reason doesn't get to 270, he can go right to the Senate. Now, Donald Trump has already successfully done things as president-elect that has made a lot of people very happy. So right now, since the Senate is Republican-controlled, as is the House, there's a good chance that he may still get. His candidacy will still be legitimized, which is good. I mean, but I gotta say this, last night's rally was just like other rallies. I mean, they were huge. It filled up the auditorium big time. There was a huge line of crowd outside the door. It was just clamoring to come in. There was one Clinton protester in the rally, which was, of course, sent home. I would be really embarrassed if I was a Trump protester at a Clinton rally. First of all, I wouldn't even have the nerve to show up. I don't think I'd have the nerve to show up. Because I would feel so embarrassed and so self-conscious knowing that I'm really trying to do something bad. But that's just the way some of these people think, that they don't think with their heads. They think completely differently than I do. yesterday I showed my landlord his leaking ceiling. He was like, yeah, don't worry about it. And yet, of course, the ceiling downstairs in apartment 3 was leaking again, and he's sitting there, and he's giving me a song and dancing, and he thinks it was my pipe, my drain that was flooding the ceiling. And of course, I told him, I'm sorry, Mom, I've kind of become like you in the sense, like, I kind of gave him a firm dressing down. I said, look, you're gonna drop ceiling in there. Go ahead, punch a hole through the original plaster ceiling and find out where the leak's coming from. Because it's not coming from my apartment. Well, he did that, and I never heard him confirm nor deny that I was right. But I got a feeling I was right because he never complained after that. I just realized this morning I was letting the cat in from outside. I said, oh my God, I just become my mother. How many times did my mother used to lamb at my father and say, I know it's wrong, blah, 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 listen to me, you should do this, you should do that. And there I am, doing the same thing with a landlord who's a 60-year-old man. So, I feel bad for my dad, I really do, because my dad was a good man overall, but unfortunately, my mom wears the pants in the family. And so my father, of course, that puts a lot of stress on the marriage. But for all those years, the two have, over 50 years, the two have worked it out. And, was it 50 years? 65. Yeah, just about 50 years. My father and my mother, it was always kind of a little bit of a tug of war. And my dad, I am like my dad in one sense. I'm a smart, intelligent person. My dad was sharp as a whip. I remember as kids, we used to ask him business questions, and I used to, he could calculate sales tax like nothing. I got it out of his own head. I can kind of do it too. Especially now that Connecticut went to, when it was 6%, and of course it went to 6.35. Well, okay, let's just say 6.35% is, for every dollar, that's 6 cents rounded down. Okay? So it means if I buy something for $1, it's going to be $1.06. Okay. So, like I said, my dad was a brain. And he was like Donald Trump in a sense. He was in construction. He was as sharp as a whip. And he taught me the trade. And when I hear this, I'm with John Fogerty, I'm just a living legacy of the later man. I think of my dad because my dad taught me a lot of the trade. And my dad taught me, showed me his passion for the stuff. He liked to work with wood. He was a woodworker. And he, like I said, the song reminds me so much of my dad because it talks about, I was a cabinet maker's son. Of course, I'm a cabinet maker's daughter, but still, it's the same thing. Here I am. I watched my dad. He would make these beautiful kitchen cabinets. Oh my God. He didn't use any of the cheaper composite materials. He used really solid wood. Pine, maple, oak. Oh, yeah, he used it all. And they were beautiful. And, of course, my stereo cabinet, of course, was something my dad made. And the same thing for my desk in my bedroom. Those two things were made by my dad. I will admit that the way the stereo cabinet is made was a little bit cheaper than he normally would make it. Because he didn't quite put as much reinforcement in the back piece. So it's held, like a lot of shelves, it's held together with a piece of plywood in the back, and if that plywood is gone, the whole thing has no structural integrity. We could fix that using corner braces. I could do that. That's easy enough to do. Just cut a couple pieces of, he made that out of maple. So I probably would, because I don't have to build the materials. He had a huge stockpile of wood in the cellar. I would probably just use something like pine. Again, glue and screw it, and then just, if I wanted to fix it the way it should have been fixed. Well, let's put it this way. That cabinet has been in my possession since high school, and it's still holding up after all these years. So I can't say it was really made badly, because my dad did a pretty good job making that cabinet. Same thing with my desk in my bedroom. So as far as my landlord goes, I think that having to talk to my landlord like that, like I said, it reminded me so much of what I didn't want to become my mother. I didn't want to be a nag. But just like my father says to my mom, he said, Ellen, you used to drive me crazy. You always complain. My landlord said, Michelle, you drive me crazy. All you do is complain. And my mom always tried to defend herself and say, well, wait a minute, I'm not trying to complain. I'm just trying to, get things done. Say arguing with my landlord. I'm not trying to complain. I'm just trying to make sure there's nothing wrong. Hey. So that's pretty much the way it happened. And like I said, I am very glad that Donald Trump also proved Barack Obama wrong when he said, if you talk to the businesses and you make reasonable accommodations for the businesses and you look at the businesses' need, we can turn this around. And he's done it. He's, as like I said, 2,100 people, at least 2,100 people, are going to have a holly jolly Christmas this year. And I know I don't need to tell you how much that's a relief for the employees at Carrier and for the plant in Kentucky Ford. Both are going to be able to have guaranteed at least they have a job for after Christmas and beyond, ideally. And so one of the things that Carrier president said to Donald Trump was, what are we going to do with the plant that we built in Mexico? It's just about done. And Donald Trump said, well, you could either rent it out, you could sell it, or you could go ahead and bulldoze it. It's up to you. I want to see Americans have jobs. I don't want to see American lose jobs. Is Mondelez going to eventually return cookie production to Chicago for Nabisco? You never know. Maybe Mondelez might decide to do the same thing. Make a lot of Chicagoans happy, especially for those people who have worked in Nabisco, all of their lives, to realize that there'll be a job for them after the holidays. Well, maybe not quite that soon, but we'll see. It's still a big thing. So, next week we will be here on the Soup Kitchen on Monday through Friday. And I'm happy to see that we'll be here. By the way, lunch today at the soup is going to be baked chicken. I can smell that cooking in the kitchen. And it was confirmed that it is going to be chicken today. And of course, the regulars are here. The regular, everyday people that come into the soup kitchen to eat meals are here, starting to fill up people. And, good. I gotta admit, I'm just kind of glad to see that these videos are reaching out to people. Well, I still would love to hear from you. Okay? You can contact me on YouTube. You can contact me on Facebook. You can contact me on Twitter. Although, I'll be honest, I don't really normally regularly check all those sites for messages. I do check Twitter and Facebook. Tumblr, not so much. MySpace. Well, live streams are not being broadcasted like MySpace because it's really hard to do because the MySpace app on my phone makes it really hard. It used to be easier when YouTube used to have a MySpace link. You used to be able to post videos on MySpace. In the last few years, they took that out, and now we only have is the Twitter, YouTube, Tumblr, Reddit. Reddit, I don't post videos on Reddit because, unfortunately, last time I did that, I got not shadow banned, but I ended up was considered a spammer, and that was never intended to do that. So I decided not to post videos on Reddit anymore because of that reason. And sometimes there was always question about some of the subreddits had different policies regarding videos. Some said you could, but you had to give a description. Some say you couldn't at all. Some say, whatever. It's it made it harder because I couldn't be sure which Reddits to put the videos in anyway. Like this coffee with Lumi and Michele. We don't really have a particular topic today. Doesn't mean that we don't want to talk to you. It just means we don't have a particular topic. So, one of the things about the titling is, you notice it doesn't have a date on it. So how in the heaven's name are you supposed to know what videos or what? I mean, you can look at the upload dates, but there's no convenient date in the title to make it easier for me to look up a video. So say, I saw your video from 2 weeks ago, and it was on this date, blah, 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 blah. I could look back at that date and review it and discuss and if they have any questions, I can answer it. But I don't have the feature right now, so I could always add the date later on in the video when it's finished processing and putting it in the BCast for 2016. And that's true. I might do that. I don't know yet. This video obviously just kind of carries over from where we talked about yesterday about the economy. And I'm just really amazed and really excited to see the great future that we have. We have a chance to really turn things around, and it's something that really excites me. You're going to talk about anything else, like what's the calendar coming up for the soup kitchen? Yeah, oh yeah. Sure, I should. Okay. December 23rd, 2016, around 11:30 a.m. The Open Door Soup Kitchen here in Winston is having its Christmas dinner. They will have Santa Claus here. He'll hand out presents and a variety of other things. And then, of course, the soup kitchen will not be open on Christmas Eve. That would be on a Saturday. It will not be open on Christmas Eve. And, of course, it will not be open on Christmas Day, which is Sunday because they're never open on Sunday. Yeah, maybe Sunday. At this point, they don't really see need to be open on Sunday. Then, of course, the week after is New Year's. That will be the last week anyway of the month. And, of course, the soup kitchen will not be open on New Year's Day. I don't know about New Year's Eve. I would think, since it's almost always 7 days after Christmas, I can find that out real quick here. Yeah, let me get to the regular calendar here. Yeah, New Year's Day is on a Sunday this year, so it wouldn't be open anyway. New Year's Eve is on the 31st, which is on a Saturday. The soup kitchen wouldn't be open anyway, because that's not the second and third Saturday of the month. Christmas Eve would happen the third Saturday of the month of December, but they're not open for that day. Of course, the soup kitchen will be open up on the 2nd of January, so that's not a problem. And lastly, let's not forget that we also have the convocation coming up. It's on the 20th of the month, and that will be a really, really big deal. I think it's on a Tuesday night, and that will start at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, and that'll be in the studio. That'll be a live stream, and hopefully, if I can get some assistance, like Dory, if she shows up again, we can do kind of the same thing we did last year. But if not, I'll have to do all the camera work. again. And so we will do that. We'll get that going. And so that's about it for right now. I just wanted to say is that I don't really have a lot to talk about. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But I will definitely say is if you could support your local economy, support your local grocery store, support your local businesses during the holidays, it would be a great thing. I mean, for example, the Winston Super Saver has been around for a long time. I kind of forgot when they actually started the business, but they've been around for a long, long time. It's a family-owned small IGA here in downtown Winston. They have become the major cornerstone of the town. People come here to buy things from Super Saver because, well, it's inconvenient and it's if that store ever closed, this town would be so devastated because only just like what's happening with South Dallas, you would end up seeing less and less healthy food choices being done, more junk food sales, and health. And healthy food choices for people downtown Winston would disappear really quickly. Stop and Shop, which is on the outskirts of Winston, and the Ledgebrook Shopping Center, it certainly is a good choice to go if you have transportation. I mean, yes, you could take the bus to get out there. Yes, you could use the in-town dial-a-ride if you prefer. But for me and for many people, we prefer rather supporting our local in-town stores if we can. Like I said, Cumberland Farms is convenient because it's across the street from my house, but it's not cheaper. And then, actually, realistically, neither is Super Saver. However, Super Saver is a local business. It's not part of a chain of stores. And so it has to negotiate purchasing with the suppliers individually, store-wise. And they carry Moxie. The only store in town that carries Moxie. So if you like Moxie and you enjoy drinking Moxie, this is the only game in town you got. Unless you want to arrange to have Moxie shipped to your house from the local bottling plant, and that's going to cost you more money in shipping costs. Especially if you're just going to buy 12 bottles of Moxie. I mean, that's figure it. How much is that? If it's $1.35 from Super Saver for a bottle of soda, I think that's about what it is with deposit. Actually, it's $1.35. Yeah, about that. Okay, just say $1.35. Maybe a little bit cheaper, but that means that 10 bottles of soda is going to cost you $13.25. Right, $13.50 plus shipping charges. Just to order 10 bottles of Moxie. Plus you got the 2 other bottles, so it's going to be about $15 for a case of 12. That's pretty expensive. I mean, that's the way things are done in business. You know, you look for the best deals, but you also realize that Super Saver hires a lot of the local town people. It's like Winston's equivalent of, on a very small level, I wouldn't say a major employer in town, but it certainly is an employer in town. Same thing with Capital Electric, which was across the street. They used to make. I think they did reopen a new plant in Colebrook, so it's still in Connecticut, but it doesn't necessarily help the Winston people because the jobs are not from Capital Electric are not in Winston anymore, unless you go and manage to get Colebrook to work there. So there's a lot of downtown mills in Winston that clearly would really benefit if Donald Trump does continue to succeed at bringing businesses back into town. Winston, actually all of Connecticut, all of the United States, not just Winston, had suffered dramatically since the 70s because of bad Connecticut government tax policies. And well, he says, I can't stop the states from what they're doing, he says, but we can stop the businesses from leaving the United States. If you want to go to another state, it's fine. You know, you have the right to do that. But I want to keep this jobs in the state so that people can, if they want to, they can go and get a transfer and move to another state so they can keep the jobs. And that's a big deal. So I'm very thankful for the fact that he's done what he's done. And I have a lot of hope that we are going to see more and more businesses coming home and to the United States, maybe even in Connecticut, if the state legislature could just work out a better tax base rate to encourage those businesses to come home. If they don't, well, we can't do much about that, can we? I mean, we could all relocate, but some of us, like me, just don't really have much of a choice. Now, would I go work for Carrier Air Conditioning in Indiana? I don't know. They're going to be planning at least a $16 million renovation job on the plant within the next few years, as the president of UTC has said. And there's going to be, they're going to be hiring more employees. But the biggest problem is in businesses, like everything else, there's a lot of manufacturing that's automated. I don't know if I'd be able to work with certain types of construction or manufacturing because of my eyesight, but there are certain other jobs I could do. Like, for example, on the one video that was shown on Fox 10 from Arizona, it was showing people on the assembly line connecting the quick connects to the various controls inside the units. I think they were wiring up the heat pumps, the fan blower controls and stuff. But that's something I could do. I could do that. I know it's not the most exciting jobs in the world. It's you get paid by piecework, and it's I did that something similar to that Easter Seals in Willimantic. It was okay. Of course, Easter Seals is a little different in the sense it was kind of not as strict of a policy as it is like at many major corporations where you got to go ahead and assemble things a certain per unit time or you're fired. For example, I could see that the units they were assembling were on a very slow-moving conveyor belt. So obviously, if you don't get this thing assembled by the time it leaves your station, that means the next person is going to have to do your job, and that's going to slow things down a lot. But yes, I would definitely consider the privilege of doing assembly line work like that, even though it's not my most favorite thing. Now, again, like I said yesterday, we are going to try to end the video, and we'll leave the video running for a little longer so the thing can get the buffer flushed out. Because if I find out if I edit too soon, parts of the video got cut off unintentionally, and so we're going to try to resolve that. And by the way, thanks to T-Mobile's binge on the Symbol Choice plan I'm on, we have, for my MiFi, we've been able to do these videos with you here on the Soup Kitchen. This technology has made it possible for us to be out there and reach out to you in a timely manner, and that's a big deal because this makes it so much easier than having to try to just record a video like this and then upload it later. I found out, for example, that because my phone has got so much stuff installed in it, that it's only a 16 gigabyte iPhone 4S. It doesn't have a lot of room for long video clips. Even in standard definition, if I remove all the excess stuff, I would probably be able to record 2 or 3 hour video. But again, then I still have to upload it to the computer, and then I still have to send that out, and that just takes too damn long. So it's easier to do them live like this, and then you can be sure that they're going to go out to you and your family and everybody. So for now, don't forget to like, subscribe to the video, and don't forget we can still use your donations. Please consider donating a $5 or $10 or whatever to www.patreon.com/BICHELA or www.gofundme.com/BICHELA or right to the support tab on the YouTube channel itself. These donations will help us to improve our videos, get new equipment, possibly even hire employees in the future. If we get enough money, we can hire employees and be more creative and expand. We can still use volunteers too. Right now we can still use graphic designers, we can still use audiovisual specialists, so we can still use anybody. And since it's a volunteer operation, you benefit because you can learn a new skill, and that skill could be useful to you for your own future employment options. So if you want to learn something new, this is the way to do it, is become a volunteer. We could still use your help. And then, of course, I can always give you a good reference if you do a great job, and you could always use that for your resume. And that's something to think about, too, for the future. But for now, very much, guys, thank you for watching this. I will see you on Monday morning at the Sip Kitchen here. So don't you worry, 10 a.m., same time as usual. Okay? See you later, guys. Bye-bye.